Hey, good morning, Bernadette. How are you doing?
Hey, Drew. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing wonderful this morning.
Awesome.
Are you excited about day 11
Day
of 21
11,
days?
I am.
Man,
Yeah.
so one of the things that I love about day 11 is it focuses on the word encouragement. Encouragement. And I think for
important.
most people, if they're kind of like me, it was one of those self-explanatory days of like, okay, well, I know what it means to be encouraging,
Right.
but if you're like me and maybe others as well, we dug into it a little bit more. There's so much more depth to this word than just this surface level of encouragement. But I want to start off by reading Proverbs 12, verse 25. It gives us kind of that immediate reaction of what we normally believe to be encouragement, and that is, it says, "Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad." When I think of encouragement, I usually think of changing the countenance of somebody. Like, how can I say something or even do something to encourage somebody so that they are no longer sad, but now they're happy. Their countenance has changed. I love that idea. And what was your initial thought about that?
My initial thought when I read the two verses was, well, this is pretty straightforward, right? Like, just be nice.
Right. I think most people would probably say that as well. But even from surface level, let's just be nice. I think there is depth to that. You know, I think one of the things that I go to in my mind, I think, okay, what would this look like if I lived by this on a daily basis? I make it personal. What are the things that I need to say and do to others to be encouraging?
Right.
But then I think even bigger picture. I think about our church. I think about what if this upcoming Sunday, every single person that we encountered walking through the halls, what if we decided to be intentional with encouraging another person, to lift their countenance up?
Good.
So my question for my own self in reading this is, who do I need to encourage? Who do I need to uplift? And what do I need to say in order to encourage and uplift them? That's what comes to my mind.
Right. And I totally agree. I think we can come up higher in that area. I think that's a great challenge for all of us. But in looking at our devotion a little bit deeper this morning, I think that we need to look at encouragement in other ways.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely helping to change the countenance of someone who's downcast, but it also can be challenging our brothers and sisters to walk in holiness, to walk in righteousness as unto the Lord, right? Our other verse for today is from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5.
That's right.
And in verse 11 it says, "So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing." And, you know, when I first read that verse, I thought, well, that is pretty straightforward and could be taken at face value. It could be referring to the lifting of someone's countenance. But then when I went back and read what comes before verse 11 and what follows verse 11, I realized that there's actually a lot more here than what I had originally thought. At the very beginning of chapter 5, Paul is urging his readers to consider the times, right?
Yeah.
And the truth is we don't know how close we are to the day of Christ's return. And in verse 2, he even says, "For you know perfectly that the day of the Lord so comes as a thief in the night." So as we look for that day coming, Paul is encouraging us as believers to be providing one another with a deeper kind of encouragement.
Man, that's good.
Yeah, some of the things he hits on, encouraging one another to be diligent, to watch and to be discerning, to put on the breastplate of faith and love, and as a helmet, the hope of salvation. That's some powerful encouragement, right? As times get dark and difficulties come. But he goes on even further, and he asks us to warn those who are unruly, to comfort the faint-hearted, to uphold the weak. There really is more to this, I think. Encouraging one another, edifying one another is a much more serious task than sending each other a funny meme or, you know, turn that frown upside down kind of thing, right? There really is much more to this.
And, you know, I see from those passages, you're right, it's deeper than just that surface level, or just be encouraged. And he even gives instruction. In reading that passage, I was reminded of another passage in 1 Peter, when Peter is sending out this charge to believers who are dispersed in different areas, and he says some similar type of language. In 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13, he says, "Preparing your minds for action and being sober-minded, set your hope fully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. As obedient children, don't be conformed to the passions of your former ignorance, But as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all of your conduct. Right. It's a reminder that encouragement is not just, hey, be happier, but it's, hey, be holier,
yes.
walk in holiness.
Right.
And what I love about this passage and what Peter says is at the very end of giving this charge to these people, be holy and be righteous in your conduct, he's encouraging them to do these things. He even says in verse 22, he says, having purified your heart, your souls by your obedience to the truth for a sincere brotherly love, love one another earnestly from a pure heart.
Right.
Well, for me, whenever I read this, I'm reminded that this whole concept of encouragement, whether it's lifting the countenance of someone else or if it's encouraging someone to continue walking in righteousness and to walk away from unrighteousness, it all stems back to this core foundation of love. That may we do these things not from a place of, well, I need to check off something off my list because I need to be encouraging today.
Check a box,
right? I need to do this from a place of love. I want to see somebody encouraged, and I want to encourage somebody because I love them. What a deep truth for us this morning as we talk about encouragement.
Yeah, a great responsibility that he gives us in the body of Christ. I think this 21 days of prayer and fasting might be a really good opportunity for us to prayerfully consider, am I being encouraging to those around me?
Absolutely.
Who around me might need encouragement in the Lord? And are we really there for our brothers and sisters in that way? And maybe you're somebody who might say that you need encouragement, right? And if that's the case, anybody who's watching who feels that way, I would encourage them to find smaller community, find a life group, find a serving team to be a part of where they can receive encouragement from their brothers and sisters in the Lord as well.
I absolutely agree. May we be people who seek out encouragement and seek to be...
And give it,
seek to be encouraging.
That's right.